Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on Upptalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say Upptalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
I started an access review basically called certification campaign. Basically, they are certifying the access of user. Now this is one of the most complicated topic. Why? Because in this you will see as compared to the other topic like application voting, role management or any like policy. That here you will see many different options and it's not easy to learn all those options. But the core of the certification access review remains same for all type of access review. For example, I think easiest example here, we have different type of certification here. If you talk about the manager certification, in that case, all access will be automatically reviewed by the manager. In case, if I use this application owner, all access of the user will be reviewed by application owner. Let's try with a manager certification. I selected a new certification template from here. Now in all certification you will see these steps as divided to 5 pages: basic life cycle, notification, behavior and the bonds. Now on the basic you will see the basic details like what name you want to put here in the manager certification, who will be the owner of this certification. Every object will have a owner. Who will be the owner of this certification object? Now, if you see this, what to certify and these headings, this is important. What to certify, basically which manager you want to include in the manager certification. Let's say you want to run to a specific person. Let's say example, you go to advanced analytics. You do clear search. First of all, we should clear the previous search. Now we have this manager name. Say we don't have any managers. Why don't we have the manager say it? We have defined the manager coalition. Oh, I think it cost missed. Manager ID should be matched with your employee. Save this. Let me run the irrigation. And once our irrigation is done, this is done. Now let me run the refresh task with that option. Manage status update. This is our refresh manager status. This is we have to select here, save new to you. This will set the manager for the users. And then we have to select here. Let's go back to identities. Here is some issue. Let me fix this first. Otherwise, we won't be able to start the access review. This is the data we have. I think put your application. In the other employee, we do have this. Now the mapping is performed here also in the coalition manager. I issued manager template. Load. We have full name. Data is also coming from this application. There it. Let me go back. It's our investigation. This underway is based on error. I have a head of 8. I have used to write it down this. This was the AM so deliverable working on secure and secure and secure. They do not work. Again, some are not operating the mind. I think we are doing some the user stick. Looks like it's issue same. There is some issue. Definitely. Can we add from the back end? Can we add in the code? No, I mean it's not. The some confusion is basically not working, getting a got mismatched to the. We have referred MEID from the employee from the chairman's. And we have managed to be. This is also coming manager. I did from that chat. Some application, this mapping part is fine. Application part is also fine. It's a RMS application. This is all 30 replication. Constitution. This is a file telemetry header schema. We have this data. And after this, collision. We have to define the collision only. This is not only thing we have to do. Let me go to the work console and really all this identity. Select everything, action delete. You want to read down the. I'm just run the aviation. You just wanted to do that. And this is recreating those identities in the world. This is time. Now the refresh task. There's a one more. I think that the fresh idea to do this also select in the same interview. No, I think it's not working. Intelligence manager. Oh, not combined. Now we have managed it. Now let me also run the aggregation from track application and from the financial application. Now we have different users here. Let's say this one advert. We have this application inside this user. Now go back to our certification page. Let's close all this tab here. Just go to here, it runs analytics. Basically, if you see, here we have my list. Let's say Bobby's difference on manager of the 3 users. If you can select here first name, last name, manager, we put manager as a Bobby's difference. If you search here, you will see Bobby's difference is a manager of these 3 users. If you want to perform certification for this specific user, in case you can go here, manage your certification. Here you can define that particular person like this Bobby's difference. But let's say you want to run for all the managers that you have in your SailPoint system. You can simply select this option, all managers. Basically, now we are launching a certification campaign for all the managers. All the managers will get the access review work item of this subordinate. Now when to certify, when you want to scale in a launch this like and what frequency you want to fall it once early, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly and only, or you want to do it away. You can also select this option. If you see when I click this disable this time, because when I click this enabled side with, that means the moment has submit this, it will execute. Otherwise, you can simply schedule this schedule. Certification will come under here this time. Now let's say we'll run it over here. Now you what? Continue on to review. You want to review and title. You want to review counts. You want to reroll. If you see this and which application you want to include, that you can decide here. Everything you can decide here basically. You want to specify application. Let's say we want to, only see financial application, and we have different entitlements from the financial application. These are the user in the financial app. Let's say we want to only do it for the financial application. In the financial application, do you want to only review accounts or you want to also review the entitlements? When you say entitlement then you will be basically user will bought by default will have accounts. Now in the entitlement also you want to include additional entitlements, roles, target permission, this kind of thing if you want. Basically, we will go with entitlements or you can say account. Let's say go simple one. Any policy violation? That you want to check that you can also let here. Now simply go to next page. This is the basic thing that we have to configure a name, what to certify, when certify, and the content that we want to include in the certification campaign. The next page, basically, which is your life cycle. Certification is divided into 5 phases. That basically give you time period basically. First one is staging period. If you see on the top here, what is this staging period? If you want to just use the SailPoint data to generate data and you don't want to trigger the actual review process, you can mark this option here. Basically, the certification will be launched but in a disabled state. For that, you can use this option. We'll use this option and to see how it works. Second is active period rule. Active period basically, and it is repeated this again and then for staging period. Staging period is basically the problem with the certification is we don't light the order anything in the certification. We directly launch the certification campaign in the prod system. Now when we launched the certification campaign, definitely certification campaign is used for large audience like for all the managers in the organization. At that time, let's say some competition, we configured a dime, it's not correct. It will badly impact on whole organization. Silver will send many email congregation. User access will be over like that. That's why I simple and give you one option stage. Stage means it will generate the data, it will do everything, but it will not launch it. It will keep the data in a disabled state. For that, if you want to keep your data into disabled state once you verify that everything is generated, fine, then you want to activate it. You have to select this option. If you don't select this option, the moment I click on this button, it will launch it and it will activate the certification basically. And that you will see. Once you can see, you will see that what is the purpose of this. Next is your active period. Active period is basically in which SailPoint will, wait for the access review. For example, it will send notification to all the manager and in this time period, active period tuition. If you see this for 1 month, in this whole month, all the managers needs to complete their access review. You can say this is a timeline to complete the access review. That period in which manager needs to take action or certify need to take action, that action is called activity period. Now second one, let's say, let me launch it for this one. My user division, you want to add more like ER. You say, one ultimately add that code. Let's say high point one. Manager certification for all the users, for all the manager, or let's say we will put the bug you see for only. Now run now. Next, we have enabled the staging period. If you see schedule the certification, this is we launched it, generating the data that's showing pending based. Refresh. Now you see status is staged. That means SailPoint generated data, basically three accounts. If you see roles and entitlements, account policy violation. This current graduation campaign only include three accounts. That is that you can see a manage SS review for Bobby's defense. When you click on this, it will show you this three data. Three account on, this is the user and Bobby's defense is the owner. Now Bobby's defense will receive the email notification, but not now. Why? Because this whole certification is a disabled state. If you see here, it's showing an option, you activate certification or cancel. Because we select that staging period. Staging period mean it will launch it will generate data, but it will launch it. Now, if you click on this, then it will launch it basically. In the prod system, we always use the staging period to verify that this data is coming properly. As of now, SailPoint has not sent any email or any access review process. Everything is in a disabled state, basically. Now, when you click on this, activate certification now, SailPoint will send an email notification to the managers. You see now is activating. Now in the active state, now the current certification is active for 1 month. If you see the end, it is 67. In the win 1 month, basically Bobby's defense has timeline that in the 1 month Bobby's defense can take action on this item. Now I will delete from this Bobby's defense user. If you need first reset the password. This is a username. I'll change the password. Save this or let's do one thing. See the logout here. Let's log in from incognitive, which is May 1, 2, 3, 4. What happened? Let's click on the home page. You see access review, one manager access review. I have obviously different do on 6. It's showing data graph also here, also here, also other here. It will also show you there are many plays, but everything is same. Now, let's say click on this access review. Manager access review for Bobby Steven. These are the three accounts. Now you see approve and the revoke account option here. You'll also see comments or other details. Let's say I approve 2 and revoke 1. Now I have a 2 option. One is I can save this decision and come on this again. Via SailPoint, give this 2 options, sign off and say, because sometime it happens that as a manager, I'm a manager and I have to review, let's say 200 or 500 access review at a time. Now I cannot review all those in one go. SailPoint, give us option that you can select. You can take whatever. You know you can certify access, basically user, and you can save those data and later let's after Monday, today you want to come back. You can come back and on the remaining item, you can again work. That is called save your data. Sign off is basically when all your action will when you have taken all the action on all the item. Then you have to sign off. Sign off is basically submit the report, basically submit your decision. If you see here, let's undo decision. Now you see, then I click this undo it. You remove that sign off because I cannot submit decision for only two items as a manager, access review and the manager. I have to review all three access, then only it will show me sign off. But let's say today I reviewed these two access, but I'm not sure about this. I'll come back tomorrow and I want to say I will take this the same. I am simply save this and come back again tomorrow. The click see, you see this, 2 out of 3 are completed. I can click here tomorrow and come back now. Reviewed, one is coming here. Open, this is the open item. Now I can today I can take this, this one also. Let's say proof, save this again. Now, since all three are done, it will show me this is screen sign of decision. You have taken action on all the item in the access review. To complete access review, sign off on all certification decision made. By doing this, you certify that all decision as is related by yourself or delegate are correct to the best of your knowledge. Basically, you can say it's like a no. We are saving that decisions not saving. Basically, we are approving. Now save off the scene, sign of decision. Now access review is removed from here. Now, if I will go back to here, access certification. Simply, I'll go to here this time. Now you see this active. You click here. Now you see this data. This chart got changed after 3 to approved. 1 is remade. That means 1 is revoked. You click here, you will see that it is approved account report because I was the manager as a Bobby's chief and I logged in from this account and the responsible to perform this access review. This is basically access review process. Now I have covered two things. One is your stage phase and the active phase. Any doubt till now? Two ways we can set the delegate. It happens basically to scenario, well, your manager, senior manager they has no knowledge like what access you have, what they will do. They will delegate your access review to your technical lead or your immediate manager or your senior. You can take basically they can, review access. That is the first case that is done by here. Only when then I have to log in, I have to select forward. Basically that I'll show in the coming in. The next certification is a one more, which is called your ruling. Site rule is basically where you have to like the Java to Java. You can create a delegate and this is used for those people like remember. See using UB please in our information. Any review in case is generated to them will simply, predicate to different users. Now, please go back. This is a burner. If you see this, currently it there as in timeline. They schedule this for 1-1. Basically, the obviously for as a one time. But Bobby's different has already completed access review. This we should not wait for the 1-1 to complete. Yes, 1-1 is the basically maximum time provided to Bobby's Steven. But let's see, Bobby's different can be all the item in a one day. We have to immediately start action. Start taking action on this or decision. But Silver will not do it. Out of the you have to one run task that is called your brace or airline manager or infant or scrum magnet manager and it's now refreshed this. Now you see it is in the revocation phase. I have not explained and explain your revocation phase, but my point is here. Basically, using this task, you can move one certification. Basically, from one phase to another phase. Now we'll go back in the certificate. I will end it. Get changed. Like as soon as he reviews and the end it will be when he completes the review. No, and it will not change. Basically ended is a whole time period which is provided to Bobby's chief and in this period Bobby's chief and take decision. Since Bobby's chief and already company all the decision, One day we can simply go ahead with the decision that Bobby's chief and he's confirmed. We will do the performance in a staff, and if you don't run his task, this is fine because this task will form maintenance and all the staffs are already scheduled here. In all, the performance will always run after 5 minutes. It was done at 8:35 then again, last year to 8:32. This is scheduled after 5 minutes. Now coming back to here also, but you see this phase and still showing, but phase got changed. Now what I'll do, I'll simply go back to certification. I'll create a new certification here to explain you other part of this. Now I'll put simply this tour. If you see this dollar full date, how this comes here, you see date is printing. Basically that variable got a replaces a management position. Let's see this will do. Now we have to find a new manager. Let's see Arani Collins. Let's see. Arani Collins is also manager of this person. We'll copy name. Put the recipient here. Consider running for all. We are splitting. We can, create multiple certification here. Now again same thing. There are now. Include application or all this. If you want to do that, you can do that or simply as letting account go to next. In this case, I will not do that. Now you'll see them. Now active period. Do you see? I'm keeping for 1 hour. You see 5:20:25 will end on 9:35. Within 1 hour, managers need to complete the access review basically. Now coming this basically optional phase. What is enable challenge period, revocation period, and end period? This phase, what is exchanging period? I explained in the staging period. Sale plan will generate a data, but it will mean the visible state in the active period. Active period is in which sale plan, trigger the access review process in which manager or the certified needs to complete the access review. Enable challenge period is optional. This is basically the concept. Let's say I'm your manager and we launch access review stratification in the whole nation. I got that you have 5 access or 5 accounts on a different application. Let's say I remove 2 out of 5 and 3 are approved. But it could be possible that you need those accounts and I'm not aware of that why you need those accounts. But as per my best knowledge, I simply selected 2 as only more and 3 approved. Now, in the challenge period, what will happen? You will get an email notification immediately. One side, submit the My Deals, the C, you will get time in email notification saying that your manager has, the mark, just 2 accesses that we worked. Do you want to challenge it in that case? Basically, you will again receive a 1 access review and a 4 item in which you have to write your justification. But once you submit that, the distribution will again come to the manager. Now manager can again, based on your justification, manager can roll tag. I can remove my previous decision. I can approve though. This is called your challenge period. Basically, when you can say the person whose access will be reviewed, that person is basically saying that do not remove my access. I need this for this particular reason. This is called your challenge period. We have this revocation period. Revocation period is optional, but we can skip this. But if you see by default, whenever you launch access certification, you will see these options selected by because the open sales, we are giving you flexibility. You can turn on and turn off, but as ideal scenario, you have to always use the revocation period in. The revocation period is basically all the decision I'm taking. Let's say for you, I'm taking 3 approval rule a remote. The rework will start on this phase from this time period. You see, this active period will be from 8:35 to 18:95. In this 1 hour, I have to take decision. After 9:35, SailPoint will start revoking the access that I've marked it as a rework in this time period. If you see, the time period is also starting after 9:35. All this step basically executing a sequence, all this phase. This is not should imitate in the access we rework afterward. Now, but let's say example, you have again, let's say example, I selected 5 access, but I want to, like if somehow I know that this user should not have access and this should be immediately removed, you can also select this option is process reboot immediately. Let's say I mark 2 application account as a rework for you. What will do? SailPoint will immediately mark this rework. SailPoint will not wait for this timeline. If you see the moment I mark this, say point, remove the timeline. It is equivalent to removing the 2 application period, disabling the application period. Not able to get you. Instead of process, immediately. We can, this selected anybody location period, correct? No, basically see. This is basically a phase that you can configure. Let's say you want to give a sale point at a specific time period. Once activated, finished, then start the reagation for all the access which is marked as a rework. You can simply use this option. But let's say you don't want to use this option. You want, like the moment manager mounted access, you want to immediately revoke the text. You can simply select this option. If this option or select it like immediately, you will see. People will not remove any. Got it. I thought got it. It will not remove it. And for the automatic deletion that you have one option that will miss you that. Enable automatic closing. This is our one. Let's say manager is not taking action on the access review. That you can configure what you want to perform. For example, if manager is not taking action, I want to automatically close the set of vacation with the rebo action taken on this item. It will be, you can select this rebo and you can put message here. Its manager is not taking action. We are revoking user access. User will get the Steam in with the gesture. You can see how I did access to the work. I read every single thing is basically user will get the email notification. There's out of the box email notification. You need to do anything. I can show you how you can modify that. Where you can check which one is used, in which place that you can check. But there's already email templates. They have. But in case of customization, you can simply directly add content in those images. One more question. We will review 2 sets of rework. Then user access will be immediately revoked. If manager cannot review the access, once you get the email, then again he can approach the manager or he should request for access again. Basically, this is important point here. All this phase will execute in a sequence, one after the other. Let's say, example, in the active period, I do have a time in this 1 month or 1 hour I can take this. But let's say once this time period is over and SailPoint is inside this enable evocation period, then there is no way to stop this, the location. You have to go back to manage the access and you have to request it again. But you say you can give you flexibility here in the challenge period. You're requesting back to manager that do not revoke my access. In that case, manager can roll back the decision. Here is case where manager did not take any action, access is revoked and challenge period is also enabled. In that case, even the challenge period is enabled, but manager is not taking action. Your access. Finally, your access will be removed. Manager cannot do anything here. He was a happy request the access again. Correct. What is cleared? This is the important thing, like all the space, how this goes. Now you see this here. For example, I enable challenge period. You see when the challenge period start. You will see this email template option. There is already another tab here, but in case of challenge period, they give us flexibility here. Through here, you can see those challenge period. When the challenge period start and you will get the notification when used, select a challenge example. Your access is removed. You are requesting something to me. This email tab will trigger challenge creation notification. These are the out-of-the-box time here that will be triggered based on the process that we have to find here. This is specific to your challenge period, but the general notification will, you can see here initial notification email template. When news launches or the vacation, you activate the certification. This is a certification email which is triggered. All the manager will get this email tab you're taking. Show you also. I think that should go to SailPoint. I'm the idea, accumulation put. This will type to file and put the file path. What will happen? All the emails will be written here. Use, you will show all the moves here, basically. In that email test now thus when we launch this, you will see the certification email as a first notification email. The other email you can configure a basically and the same is this is specific to your current certification, but let's say if you want to do it specific like even to set a global, you can simply go here and here you can see this is a global conversation, same conversation that we have here in different pages. That is also here. Whatever you'll define it here, that will be applicable to all. It's a global conversation, basically. In case you have to change the content of the template layer to change in the particular and then add that in case you have to change the content. Let's say example, this is the email trigger when the certification. SailPoint launch the certification campaign. This is the first email trigger, initial notification if you see the name. Let's say you want to modify this. You cannot, I did this here, but you can simply go to debug page. I have here email notification, email dump pencil. This is a name certification. Search for your certification. These are the template. This is the one. A new access resolution report has been assigned to you. Logging and viewer work item inbox to complete this access certification report like this. This is our agenda. I'll show you this data. It will come here in the next and this not bad. Whatever extra you want to get. Like for example, you want to, add this URL like how manager will do their access. Let's say this one. This is a generic URL you can simply put here. like you are like this. Now let's launch this first one. Well, now there is a certification to run now accounts life cycle. We are not using this staging period. Now let's schedule this. It will not show you stage period. It will directly show active because we have been removed that. You will not see that active or cancel option. Now at this moment, 1 minute, whatever we have sent today email like say open, will send the email here. Let me go to here. This is for TV. This is doing this simple chain multiple emails here. If you see, let me open a last team. You see here, a new access certification report has been assigned to you. Manages to review for Aaron. Call us login and view our item and book. Complete this use URL like whatever content we edit there is coming here. Subject is also coming here. There is that. Here it is the subject. This is the to recipient and from admin. Basically, Aaron Nicholas will get the email that you have to complete your access review for all your links about it for all the managers like notification. Not this one, while setting up the rules. This email template, there was basic and one more thing was there. I know. This is what. Here on the news. Well, this one, the notification. Here will just for our basic minus certification. If you want the change, then we will change in the options. It's up to you. For example, this is a kind of template we want. We can choose here. Let's say we don't want to edit this one. You can create a new one and you can select here. Or the existing one, you can make a change. Both options are open. You can go and do any option. Now there are like different options. There will be different bodies. There will be different content. We have to obviously, example, challenge accepted like this one. If you see this like enable challenge period, usable. Get this challenge period start notice to challenge period start. If you see this event after, you will see the content totally different. Challenge. The challenge period has started for certification name. You will be notified if any certification decision has changed by the affected user. Like this. Challenge period. Like example, you create one challenge to your manager that I need this access. Notification image challenge creation notification such that challenge creation notification. It has been determined that your access to will be limited or removed completely. You have this time to share in this decision. You have this. Remember, I'm going to have a number of options. I can think it's basically a notification inside this if you see. First of all this option 2, 3, 4, 5 will be applicable to all the certification. All type of certification. Only thing will be changed, the basic part here, this particular 3 things. What you want to certify, who will put the certified, and what you want to include in the certification. This thing will be changed. The life cycle notification behavior. or the thing will be remain as it is. I'll show you also. Now, if you go to the behavior in the notification, you can configure different. You can also configure remind and escalation, which is again a widely used. How that is used? We have to simply select this option and notify before for division expire. Now you can configure remind me last. And that's in like one-time reminder. I'm going to be saying campaign. Let's say one to send a reminder. Let's say managers not a connection. You have a whole window of 1 month. In the 1 month, manager needs to take action. But you want to also represent reminded manager. Let's say after every week, every 1 week in 1 month year, full week, every week you have to. You want to send a reminder. And on the last day, if manager is not taking action, you want to all to escalate. And that you can configure. Either reminder. Now you have some simple wizard here. How you want to, configure, remind. Let's say, example, you want to configure only one. You have to select this. And how you want to configure after start or before expire. Let's say example 1 month scenario. We want to send a reminder every week, like on the first week. Say open will send the email notifications of video into send anything. The day one. Now, then this week and then the next week start, we have to send one email reminder. Same for the second week. Reminder on the third week. Basically, we want to escalate it. How we can do that? Once a 7 day. First reminder will be after 7 days after start of 7 days like to date start. 27 after 7 days, it will send the first reminder. And after that, it will follow this frequency, will mind. Now this, you want to configure one, what you call escalation. It measures not taking action to the last year till the last week, whatever time period you want to decide, we have to send the end in. Here you will see different options. Let's see example. We have configured it to remind the now. After sending to reminder, we want to trigger an escalation. Well, let's say after also it before 1 day your certification get X plan, we want to escalate it. Here's a visual. Basically, you can configure based on that. You can build the logic. You're providing this value. And this is also, if you see email tab, it's also their work item escalation. This will be the email tablet which will be triggered when Silicon will generate this escalation. Same with the reminder also. If you click edit it, you will see that even template work item reminder. Generally, we don't, change these templates. Basically, we don't use it. But mostly which one is used in nation notification and also this one. If you see the reminder escalation, I've seen that in most of the engagement, they use this reminder application because it's very natural thing. You have a month period today. What's something and definitely you'll not do it today. And in this one, they have to send the reminder. And if you see in your nation also for training suffer different, like to keep sending reminders, the mind is. This will begin configure the reminder escalation in certification. Now the behavior symbol. You will see this checkbox enabled, disabled. You can turn on and turn off. This is also thing that you can enable many launch a certification. Like what step you want to configure. For example, automatically signed up and nothing to certify. Let's see, there's no item. I don't have any yes about it. Or let's say they don't have any access from the application. It was a little bit automatically signed out. Let's say this one visiting specific or this will book action. Let's say when you see the certification campaign, I log in from this box is chief and cite that I must see 3 items. Sometimes it happened. You will see 200 or 500 access that you interview. Generally, in that case, what we do simply as a human tendency, be simple. Let all those access and simply one go be select, approve, then submit or remove, and some generally we do approve. Let's approve it. Let's reduce our head. That option is there, but you can turn on and run off here. This is basically a behavioral how SailPoint certification will behave with an user with the certified, with the user whose access will be reviewed. How you want to change those behavior that have been configured. I'll give you an document in which you can see this many of this. Basically based on the client customer requirement, we simply come here and turn on it and off this feature. That's a little bit awkward. Like something like I delegate some item to you, but I want to stop you that you cannot follow this item to help you with someone. This kind of often you can configure. Last one is important, advanced. Simply give you some additional control on your access review process. And majority, first one is exclusive. Second one is pre-delegation. This is the one if you see pre-delegation. And the exclusive. What is this exclusive? In your distribution review, we generally don't launch a division user for review for the specific user. If you always launch it for the mass audience, like all the managers or the user who has account on the finance application, who has account on the active data application. This is how we always use this certification campaign. Now, when we are launching a certification campaign for a mass user, it happened that some user that their access should not be reviewed. For example, VP CEO. Those kind of people we never want to distill by sending them any email or, reworking their access even by mistake. Exclusive on Jules, a one property through which you can write a code here and you can configure like which particular user you want to include from the access review process. I can assure you this code how it works. By default, you will not see anything here. You have to click here in this. Now you have to write a Java here. Simple example is if you see this entity, the abstract certificate, this is either a manager, my attribute or vendor. Let's say example, what we have to do is if entity get name, let's say name code SQL to page chart. Do not include a page test account in access review. What we have to do two things here. You'll see items and items to exclude. We have to remove items. Items and item tools will. Both are list and list. If you click here, you will see that list. Items, lists of a suitable item that are currently part of the certification for this identity. Item root, list of suitable item that should not be included in certifications. What we'll do from the items. To simply do this remove, you have to call the list method, Java list method, remove your entity, name the current entity. You can simply pass this, and same time you have to add this into items to exclude. That's it. Now, basically, what we are doing, this list contains those items which will be reviewed, which will be included in the review process. If we want to exclude something, we have to exclude from this list and we have to put inside this list. Cell panel automatically check. This is what item we need to exclude from the access review. Now, in this case, what will happen? Whenever entities like the particular item named will match with the app, what will happen? Say this code will execute, this is condition will execute. It's what we are doing here. We are removing your access from the items. Items are removed entity and we are putting items or items to exclude. Should we do it? .add and putting your identity name. Here, what will happen? Your identity will not be included in this whole access review process. This is called exclusive. Anything on the sense. Like is the whole number. Your voice is very low. Here entities role, name or any entitlement. If you see this, you cannot judge that what access will be reviewed. For example, we are reviewing the role only, we are reviewing your account only, we are reviewing your entitlement only. Entities are generic objects. Well, because this rule is a generic basic, is code is generic, but what contain we will include that will be in. We have to configure in the basic page what we want to review here, and title manager account. Yes, a space, John, that here it will fetch. This is how we exclude items that we don't want to include in the access review process. This is thought a whole part of exclusive zone. I'll give you a easy sample. You understand, and the same time this is most widely used customization on the your certification. Even I have did you know different kind of very complex certificate in the customization. But when comes to access review, I always said that I have only done two type of customization, your excuse and rule and the predelegation. Because this is most widely used. And other one will confuse you because this behavior also changed on the data also, because you have this new logic can be used for different type of access review. Application owner certification manager, owner certification, advanced certification, some custom data, they might put your own different complicated state. When it starts telling you about the different component of the access review, always go with the value of doing interview. Always go with the original default process of the access review and how we have used your escalation rule or the free delegation rule. Now, ultimately, you'll be writing only this two. This is for exclusion rules. Now, one more, which is again widely used by the free delegation, and the concept is again same. Those items which we want not to assign to the managers or C manager, CVP. We want to immediately delegate that and see it as they will log in and they will delegate manually. Let's say we have a data based on that. We want to delegate it. We simply use this option to delegate. I can show you one zoo for this exclusion and the free delegation, most probably the next one. Next, Russell show you how can you use that. There are some samples I can provide you. Mostly that sample will fit your customer requirement work items. What is this work item? Any items which require manual intervention. Like, for example, your approval, example, access review, example form, all this required manual intervention. Approval will be also done by some human person. Access review will be done by a human person. In general, SailPoint call those all the items called work item. That admin can see all those work item. For example, this manager access review is triggered. If you see it at access review manager, access review for virtual sponsor owner, this is a virtual sponsor. If you click here in the view, or let's say click on the I information, you created this as detailed. Forwarding is to know, forwarding is to view. You see, this is the for virtual. These are the access that virtual needs to review. Now let me forward to myself, because how can I forward this using this button? And because of I am a super admin here, I have this option is visible to me. Let's say I forward to myself as P admin forward. Now I'm the owner, and if you see, I will see the history here. SailPoint always, collect all the data that we use, any operation that we configure. Say we can keep type of all, each and every item. Now I'm the owner of this. I'm responsible to take action on this. Same way we have different our item. Say, if you see here, you will see that option filter type. You can have access review. You can have approval. You can have challenge. You can have delegation. You can have form in which you have to add some data, manual action, some animation, the policy violation. Sign off. All lists are called in general. It's called work items. Work item is what in which manual action is required. Someone needs to log in into system and then it could take some action. That is called work item. Access review is also work item. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.